Good morning, everybody. I'm sorry I'm late. I had an MRC meeting, and they had a pretty important item on the agenda, and I just couldn't get out of it without making a vote. So, again, I sincerely apologize, and if I remember that late again, just start without me.
Okay.
Please, okay? And we'll start the meeting. We'll move along with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Remember our service people out there, servicemen and women are defending our country. Keep them in your prayers. Next item on the agenda is to consider the approval of minutes of the April 16th meeting.
Yeah, Mr. President, I attended the meeting and I reviewed the minutes, and I would move approval.
Thank you. Second?
Actually, it's you. Joe wasn't there. I wasn't here.
Joe, Mr. Evans wasn't here, so I'll second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you. Next item on the agenda is consider register of claims totaling $1,108,000, 79, did I read that right? $1,108,079.25.
I'll move that we accept the claims as presented.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you. We have nothing on our agenda for old business. Under new business, we have the London with CNG proposal results from Ted Summers.
They sent us an email with the summary, and I've gone over it with our legal counsel. And Joe, do you want to offer opinion, Mike, or make a recommendation?
I do. We had three proposals. One for, is it Constellation Energy, one from CIMI Energy, and one for, is it EDF. There's three total, and at this point I would ask the board to go ahead and make sure that these are the three we consider. However, the CMI Energy only emailed us their proposals. I don't think that I think we should just narrow it down to one and three, and not consider number two, simply because I don't believe it was in proper form, but also it was just emailed to us, and there's a lot of things that we needed that were not in that email. So what I would advise is that we take these under consideration. Take number one, Constellation Energy, and number three, EDF, under consideration, and not consider the CIMI at this point, because it was emailed to us, and there's some things I think that are possibly could be missing out of that. But I would also suggest to the board that we go ahead and close that and not consider any other proposals. At the same time, not consider the CIMI Energy proposal because it did not conform to what we asked them to do.
So what we're going to do is we're going to close proposals at this point in time. We're going to disallow the CMI, who was not did not officially submit one, but only by okay.
And just to clarify, Bill, I'm sorry to interrupt you. It's my understanding it was not an email with an attachment with all the proposals in it. It was just a very, maybe 3-paragraph long email.
There was not enough detail for us to make an intelligent decision based.
It wasn't something that they sent a proposal with an attachment to an email. It was just an email sent to us.
So what we'll do is we'll make a motion to close all the bids at this point in time. We're going to consider the two that we consider were submitted in the appropriate manner, and we're going to take those under advisement.
And I scheduled off the rest of the morning. If we need to meet on this morning, we can do that.
Okay.
Okay, very good. Okay.
I would. Have you made that motion?
No,
Okay,
that would be the motion.
I will make that motion. Did you get that, Megan?
Okay.
I will second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. The next item on it is to consider resolution number 2014-04, and this is amendment to the 2014 salary resolution, and Nikki Grisby, not Nancy this morning, our district administrator will make this presentation.
Hi, gentlemen. I would ask that you make an amendment to the salary resolution in regard to the board president's position. As you're all well aware, Mr. Smith agreed to temporarily act in 2 positions, and he has decided that that time has changed. So I would ask that you amend the salary resolution to reflect this dollar amount and for it to go back to 1 position.
So basically, I'm no longer going to be serving as district administrator or special events or anything else. I'll just be the average, normal board president.
You're just not going to get paid for it.
Okay.
You're not average,
Average
Bill.
or-
You're not,
Not average or
You're not
normal?
average,
Okay, so do we have a motion to accept this proposal?
So moved.
Second?
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you. That was a nice way of saying you reduced my pay, but that was good. Actually, it was and I'll only take one moment, pleasure to work with everybody full-time. It really was, and in the sanitary district, and I've went on and on about how we all feel the outstanding department heads and the people that work for our district do, and working with them on a daily basis for a year, 15 months, whatever it was a real pleasure. So thanks for letting me do that. Next, I see you up here.
I am.
All right, so this is a considered resolution of 2014-5, and this is a resolution regarding the lease purchase agreement with TCF Equipment Finance Company for sanitation trash trucks. And I see Debbie Irving is up here as our financial manager making this presentation.
Yes. Good morning, gentlemen. This is a resolution, as Bill just said, authorizing the negotiation, execution, and delivery of the lease agreement number 000606138-301. This is an agreement between TCF Equipment Finance and the Muncie Sanitary District for the new sanitation trucks. And this resolution also gives Muncie Sanitary District Administrator Nikki Grisby the authority to execute the documents. And I would ask the board to approve this, please.
Basically, this is our new trucks that were required as we build our new natural gas station. And so basically, this would be in terms of 7 years with an extension if we need it at that point in time. So we've spent a lot of time on this with Nikki and yourself, Debbie. So this, you're recommending us to approve this.
Yes, please.
Okay.
I would make that motion to accept
Second.
the recommendation.
We have a motion, a second, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and great job, Nikki and Debbie, for putting those things together. Next on the agenda is the considered a change order on, and this will be Tracy Barton. This is on 8th Street project.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Tracy Barton, Superintendent, Engineering Sewer Maintenance.
thank you.
Thank you.
There was a change order on this 8th Street and Brotherton project. I contacted District Administrator, spoke with her, gave her a description of what was going on. She authorized the work. If you recall, we originally had to replace an extra like 64 feet of pipe on this project. In doing that, that took us into an existing manhole, very old manhole. We did not learn until time to insert the new pipe into that manhole. It had no bottom. It was just, and it didn't have any bitch walls either, Mike. And I don't know if you may have seen this before. The clay pipe went straight through it. The bench walls were brick and mortar, the same material as the old brick manhole. So it had to come out. Wasn't no way to install the new pipe properly. There was also another sanitary line coming into it up Brotherton and 2 other lines from catch basins. While doing all this, we investigated and inspected all that. The storm lines were bad, the catch basins were bad, and 14 feet of the other sanitary line had to be replaced. This manhole was at 18 feet deep, and the sanitary from Brotherton was at 15 feet deep. The good news is, it's all done today, minus the road restoration. It'll be completed today.
So this was a brick sewer
It was a brick manhole.
over a vitrified sewer? Or-
Yeah, they run the clay pipe through the manhole. They built the manhole around the clay pipe.
Okay.
And the bench walls was brick and mortar.
How old is that?
I'd say it's at least 100 years old.
Mike, did you do that project? No? Let it be said that Mike said he had nothing to do with that project.
I wouldn't expect so.
Joe, do you have any questions? Mike, do you have any
And
questions?
this
on
all
this?
started with a failed sewer lateral to a home?
No, this was, the main line was failed.
Okay.
We had lotted, I think it was 120 feet of pipe replacement. We couldn't even get our cameras in the 24-inch pipe.
All right, well, I'm glad we're through it. Glad
All right,
we're done.
thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for the report, Tracy. I see nothing else on the agenda. Normally, we would open this at this time before we close the meeting for anybody in the public that would like to come up and make have any questions or statements. If you do, please just come forward up to the podium here and give us your, if you would, please, your name and your address.
My name is Paul Hall. I live at 3816 East Nancy Lane. Your board voted on a new sewer in my neighborhood, which is Wendell Court. You voted on that in October of last year. Basically, I'm calling to find out the status of this. When I talked with your department last year, I was told that this should be possibly done by the spring. My problem is that I'm the only person on my neighborhood that has a finger system, but yet I have raw sewage from all of the other properties leaking into my property. This was brought to your attention originally by a health department complaint that was filed by me. I have lots of renovations to do at this property. I have no date when this is going to be done.
Okay.
I know that you guys are going to charge $5,000, not more than, to each homeowner. Now I'm going to have to spend another $5,000 to have this pipe dug up at my own expense, and I really feel like your department here is dropping the ball on me. I could go to the health department, file complaints against all my neighbors, have them dug up like the guy next to me, but all we're doing is punishing them. I really need to get a date and an estimated time of when we think this project is going to be designed, built, and I think it's a reasonable expectation to ask of you.
Well, it's certainly a reasonable question, and I see John Anderson is walking up behind you there. Let's see if we can get some answers for you from John.
And then there's another question for that. When you guys first came out and we had to all sign the petition,
Right.
you asked us to draw, on the map, about certain flooding areas. Another one of my concerns is the extreme amount of rain runoff that winds up all in my yard. And whether or not we are going to consider putting a drain at the end of that street, which I think it would be a huge mistake if we don't, since you're already going to be there.
Before, John, just one more minute. First of all, I don't know what the answer is going to be. This all started out, you came to us with a problem, and we said we would help you with it.
Sure.
Which we're in the process of doing. Now let's see how long it's going to take for us to help you. So, John?
Okay.
We are currently approximately 50 to 75% done on the plans. Part of the delay has been we were working on them through the winter, but we needed additional survey information, which we have got since here a little while ago. So I'm trying to finalize the plans, and then when those are ready, we'll have the work on the assessment, whether it's under the 5,000 or it is.
Can you give us any, obviously, I understand your frustration, and so it's very, so can you give the gentleman some, if we put this on the front burner somehow, or do what we have to do, can you give me some kind of?
I would hope to have the plans the next week or so.
Okay. And if we have that, then let's go through the process. Then what happens at that point in time? We get those plans, and then what's going to happen?
And then we have an estimate with those, and we determine the assessment, and then move forward at that point on.
Is there anything?
We're not bidding this work. We're going to do this with our
This is
own.
in-house.
crew? We don't know yet?
I would speak, I don't want to speak for Tracy's department, since this is all going to be individual grinder pumps. I don't know that Tracy's
Okay.
crew feels like they would be up to that type of
Yeah,
work.
that's something new for us.
No,
That-
So that,
Very new, and we don't plan to do it.
Okay, so then we'd have to go through a bid advertisement and receive bids on it.
30 days. Well, I think this board, I think I speak for this board, okay, for everybody. We want you to put this on the front burner, okay? And we want this to, if there's something, anything this board can do to help you expedite what you need to get this done, we would like you to do that, okay?
Yep.
And then while you're doing it, we probably, as your second question would be, is to see what kind of drain is out there and to just tie, to make sense for us to tie something together at this time.
I will look into that.
Okay,
All right.
thanks, John. And John, in your defense, I know that with the winter and everything else, I know that we've been overloaded. And so, but we do want to, we started out trying to help you in this, we still want to help you in this problem, and we'll move as fast as we can.
Okay, thank you
Okay.
very much.
Sure.
Minor question, we had to annex this area in, didn't we, to our, am I recalling that correct? To our
Yes,
district?
it was-
Yes.
Yeah, it was listed as not
Have
being,
have we gone through that paperwork, part of,
um,
it doesn't affect the schedule at all,
Sure.
but if not, maybe,
No.
our legal counsel.
Yeah, we, absolutely, and they did, everybody signed for it, and then up to that point, everything was done, so,
Yeah.
if that hasn't been done, we will also take care of that at the same time.
Okay.
Okay.
Is there any way, just, this might, be a dumb question, but for me, to have to pay, the $5,000, whatever, I'm perfectly fine with that. I think that's definitely fair. But now this extra added expense, is there any way that the sanitary district can help me to get this thing at least temporarily repaired? I have the approval from the health department to get this thing repaired because it certainly is a health hazard, and it almost kind of seems unfair to me that I have to spend, a couple $1,000s on my own to get it fixed, and then another $5,000 to have this happen.
What actually, do you understand what he said as far as being fixed? Do you understand?
No, if you don't mind, John, can you give us a recommendation within the next 2 work days on,
I'll
what he's
have
trying to do.
somebody come out and take a look at what's going,
Yeah,
exactly.
let's see what we can do. No promises, but let's see what we can do.
Okay, that would be
we just
fantastic.
don't have, we don't know the details.
Yeah, and I imagine that. So, and it's
Right.
kind of a unique situation. I get all that. Thank you very much for your time.
Okay.
Thanks.
Anybody else from the audience? With that, no other comments from the audience. We'll close the meeting. Our next meeting will be May 15th, and it will be at the same place, same time. Thank you.
I can't, I've got that murder trial starting at 12, so.